military strategies, such as in Venezuela. Venezuela, the excuse was piss poor, was obviously an oil grab. The United States people are not going to make money off of it, only the oil companies and people tied to them.
This is for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Good morning, and welcome to the Think Tank, where we use critical thinking, deductive reasoning, just a pinch of common sense to draw unbiased logical conclusions. Today we're here to talk about the deployment of troops to Greenland from Germany, Denmark, France, and beyond. The EU is coming together to put troops into Greenland because of the uptick in rhetoric from the executive branch of the United States led by Donald J. Trump. If this is the type of content you like, if you want to hear from both sides, the pro-MAGA, yes, we're going for it, and the resistance, no, we got to stop Trump. We can't put troops in a foreign nation. This is the place to be. You want to come here and hear it from people that are passionate about it. Not only that actually use our brains to come up with critical thinking and deductive thoughts in order to be able to draw unbiased conclusions, even though everybody has their own biases. Everybody in media knows it. If you're getting different perspectives, it becomes unbiased because then you get to draw your conclusions from everybody else's. Because any media outlet that only gives you one side is biased. So if you like that, please like, share, subscribe. No further ado, I'm going to introduce my co-host, Dion.
Happy Martin Luther King weekend, family. Hopefully you'll see this content out there and reflect on the greatness of this great man. I'm District Leader Dion Powell of the Bronx Conservative Party, here to give you the point of view from me as a political strategist and a community organizer. So, yeah.
All right, thank you, Dion. So, as I was saying in my intro, we are in a ish show. I will edit myself. I don't understand why people that are America first are for this rhetoric of extending our powers into another country, even if it's through. Hey everybody, this is your boy Leo. You know me. I've been doing commercials for 15 years, television commercials, radio ads, billboards. Now I'm trying to step it into the big leagues. I want to be an independent filmmaker. I've got the degrees, I've got the experience, and I need your help to make my first independent film, Garot. So Garot is Boys in the Hood meets Clue. So these dudes from Brooklyn is trying to buy their drugs to supply the hood. So they go to the mafia stronghold and they purchase their drugs, but one of them turns up dead. And now there's a race to find out who did it. The Godfather's going to send in his hit squad, Squadra Assassina, to take them out. They don't figure out who did it because somebody died on his turf and he's not happy and he can't have stuff like that happening in his business. So please, if you want to show support, my Kickstarter campaign is down in the description box. Military strategies, such as in Venezuela. Venezuela, the excuse was piss poor, was obviously an oil grab. The United States people are not going to make money off of it, only the oil companies and people tied to them. What is the strategic thinking of that we need Greenland in the America First point of view?
Well, just like Venezuela, we can't let people like Russia and China exploit and take full advantage of those natural resources. That makes sense. However, as an America First, borderline America only person, we do not like military conflict and intervention. So it's like a catch-22 when it comes to interest and security and the whole global economic scheme of things. But that's the POV on this side of the fence.
You are aware that Greenland is not being attacked for natural resources.
But you mentioned oil.
I said that was the reason for Venezuela. That was the excuse for Venezuela.
Okay.
Which
I thought you were lumping it together.
No, I'm saying that the United States is now an invading force in the world. We've attacked Iran. We've attacked Iraq. No, we're about to attack Iran. We've attacked
Not the
Iraq.
administration, buddy, just Iran. Let's keep it there.
Uh, we've invaded Venezuela.
Okay,
We're
fine.
we're talking about invading Greenland. We're talking about invading like multiple countries. The rest of the world, everyone else in the world, the United Nations has said, you can't go into Venezuela. That's not your oil. They've made a stand on it. Russia and China is leading the way with Europe against the United States because of this. This makes America weaker. Is that something we can agree on?
It makes us more unpopular, yes. Weaker, I'm not sure, because now that we have Venezuela, we have a lot of influence in that country. And Greenland is a question mark, but we also securing some other areas of our border. So we're not letting in all these other countries with their peoples. And also the
What about the Qatar? What about the Qatari? The ones building the base in the middle of our country, right where the United States is bombing everybody?
Well, again, that's a deal that we just secure when it comes to Qatar over there.
What was the deal? What did we get? I want to know. I know what Trump got. Trump got them the gold jet. What did we as a country get?
We secured our ally in Qatar instead of them being more hostile and aggressive to us after Israel went in there and did what they did. Understand? That's my thoughts.
Well, like the Qatar are doing in the United States have a base in Greenland. Greenland has agreed to any number of troops being able to be deployed into the country. Denmark, which owns Greenland, has also agreed. So if it was about strategic advantage for the military, if it was about protecting ourselves, we already have assets and a base within the Greenland borders, which Greenland has opened itself up to. We got you. What you need? More troops, tanks, airplanes? What do you want? Name it. We put it there. But you cannot take over our land. While Trump is like, please explain this to me. His defense is, oh, you're protected better if you own it rather than rent. I get it. I get it. I get it. He's a real estate person. But this is not real estate. How is America First looking at the fact that Trump just wants to own? Because that's his whole defense. I just want to own. We can't rent. How does America First feel about the fact he's willing to go to war with the rest of the world to own a small piece of land that we already have a military base on?
Well, go to the war with the rest of the world, something that we're totally against. How about that? So back to the point, owning versus renting. You're a businessman. I'm a businessman. I'm not sure if you dabble in real estate. I'm sure maybe you have, with your residencies and stuff like that. And me, I've looked at it as well in those seminars. America is tired, America First, that is, borderline America only, of paying into these other countries for protection. For example, the reason countries like Greenland and Switzerland and the Netherlands have such wonderful amenities and Denmark is because America's military is there and they don't really have a military of their own. They have NATO and these wonderful things, but who pays the most into it? Us. What do we get out of it? Not the equivalent. So that's the reciprocity vocabulary word that President Trump is talking about. And in terms of owning and leasing and renting, I live in this box holding apartment. Of course, owning is much better. So I think that's the economic land grab wordplay that we need to hear.
Wow. So, in your America First opinion, going to war with our allies.
I said that was not good. I said that at the beginning.
Is worth it if the United States can take more land?
No, again, with America First, we don't want more. We're not
That's
neoconservative.
what owning is. The owning
No,
means
war is
taking the
not
land.
owning. The man wants to cut a deal. He wants to cut a deal
But if
to
he
get
can't cut a
rid.
deal, which they don't want to cut, then he said he's willing to use military force because we need to own instead of rent, is his reasoning. Well, now, you said that we have military there and that's their strength.
Said that.
It's no, that's literally what you just said. You said that, oh, well, we got military there and that's why they don't have to be able to do as much as they do and use the word reciprocity, which means to reciprocate, which means back and forth. Like you give to us, we give to you, reciprocate.
Quid pro quo, Felicia.
So is it worth going to war with a country that is allowing us to put as much military as we want in their land?
No, is the answer, Lee. I said that initially. America first, borderline America only. We're not neoconservatives, neocons. We don't like war, especially for silly reasons like this, where we're not being on the defensive, like September 11th. Allegedly, we're on the defensive now. Understand? Department of Defense, now Department of War sounds more aggressive. So that's something that's like not really cool in this realm. Nobody answers that directly.
That was incredible and direct. So, as America first, the MAGA branch of the American First MAGA branch is against invading Greenland. That's the stance.
I believe so.
What do you think should be done to
Well,
prevent the United States going to war with basically Earth?
okay. So what is being done is that there are a few Republican senators and congressional people that are actually breaking away, and the checks and balance of the legislative branch are kicking in. So if you follow certain trends, that's what's happening. Make sense?
Okay, so it sounds like MAGA is with us. Let's not go and invade other countries. Venezuela, for some reason, was okay, but common sense is starting to kick in when the rest of the world's like, no.
Well,
Eh,
unfortunately, Venezuela, if we could revisit that for this episode, the Venezuelans and Latinos of South America, Nicaragua, and some other countries are actually pretty pleased with that. And on top of that, the theme that I've come to understand on this from is that you can vote your way into socialism, like in Venezuela, but you can't vote your way out because he was not a duly reelected leader. That
that's none of the United States' business. And what you
oh well,
what Trump did was put us in harm's way by going and claiming he was going to try and make honest elections, taking over the country, seating himself as president, and now stealing their oil. But that's not for this episode. So, any closing statements?
well. We are the media, and now so are you. So hopefully you will share this content and add your own comments and break it down more eloquently than we can. So pay attention and make sure the algorithm reimburses you.